What's going on, guys? I have a super hot topic that I've kind of been avoiding even getting involved in it myself, and that's ChatGPT. Now, at first, I was very, very hesitant on ChatGPT. What is this, blah, blah, blah. It's just another AI thing, and I also don't even talk about AI very much, but that's about to change starting now. So I have a very fundamental understanding of AI, and I've seen it in vision applications as an automation expert and knowing what all is going on in the automation space related to AI, and overall just thinking about automation as a whole. We do manufacturing automation, but my mind's always wrapped around like how do we automate processes even internally in our own business. Now, whenever I first started hearing about ChatGPT, I kind of just brushed it off. People have been using the buzzword AI for such a long time, and we need to be careful about AI. We need to watch out for AI, and I 100% agree. Like, we do have to be very careful with AI, because if we can create an AI machine that is as intelligent or even much more intelligent than human beings, it could come into our society and shut everything down in one day and say, hey, let's try to kill off humans. It's a true thing. It could potentially happen. Now, the reason why I'm talking about ChatGPT and why I think it's so powerful is because I've seen it firsthand. I've seen some of the powerful things that people have been able to do with ChatGPT, and as I explored down this road, I'm starting to realize that there's some other applicable AI tools out there that are kind of just as powerful as ChatGPT. And the thing that I really see is, like, once you have a ChatGPT and some of these other platforms get merged together into one singular platform, or as you have developers developing platforms like that, where you have something like ChatGPT, which is a text generator, and we'll dive into that a little bit more and into deeper detail here in a second. And then you have other AI tools that are like image generators. So if you're able to take like a text generator and image generator and get into doing like video generation, like some of these AIs can generate like human photos. Like you can supply it like 10 photos of yourself, and it will spit back a photo of yourself that it generated. It's not even actually ever a photo of you. It computer generated a photo of yourself that looks so realistic you can't even tell the difference. Mind-blowing. So ChatGPT is kind of getting to that exact same point when it comes to text. So let's go ahead and jump into ChatGPT and see a little bit about what it is and some of the features and things that it can do. So ChatGPT is a language AI. And what does that mean? It understands the human language. It understands words, right? And there's probably a better definition and an exact like term for like what I'm trying to say. Somebody who's like a linguist and who's really good at communication and really good at putting words together and making things sound good. ChatGPT is that, right? And I, using ChatGPT, have learned a couple things about it. And one of the things that I found out is it can write much better than I can. So let's just go ahead and ChatGPT, and let's ask some questions real quick. What is a robot? A robot is a machine designed to carry out a complex series of actions automatically, especially by being programmed by a computer. Robots can be autonomous, semi-autonomous, or under remote control, and are used in variety of applications, including manufacturing, assembly, and transport and exploration. As you can see, I can't read very well either, but here we are. Okay, cool. So it's like same as Google. I just asked it a definition, and it gave me a definition of here's what a robot is, right? And that is interesting, right? But let's throw something a little bit different at it, right? This as if it was Will Smith writing it. Okay? And just send it. Let's see what it can give us back. Yo, what's good, y'all? It's Will Smith coming from with a little knowledge about robots. Robots are these sick machines, yo, that are built getting things done. Okay, you guys can read that on the screen. We're not gonna have a reading session here. I don't like publicly reading. So, but as you can see, like, we just threw like this very like ambiguous. As you can see, we just threw this very different, this very extreme command, this task, right? We said, hey, write it like this person, right? And you can see it did a pretty good job at like making it somewhat sound like this person wrote it. And that's what's really, really powerful about this thing. And to give it another definition, is this ChatGPT is essentially a professional bullshitter. And why do I say that? Right? He's that guy that can tell stories and he can make them sound really, really good. But whenever he's next to somebody who's like an expert or somebody who really knows what's going on and the things about that industry or that topic, that person's like, man, this dude don't know what he's talking about. Sounds good, but this dude doesn't know what he's talking about. And so the reason why I also say that is because ChatGPT at this particular point in time is not the best at facts. It will be very unfactual, and it'll say things that may not necessarily be true. And the thing is, it says them in a way where it sounds very confident in its answer. I wish I knew of like a good example of like what we could type into this thing that would give us a response that we just knew was wrong. But things that are like data related or things that are actual knowledge related, it's not good at. So you're better off like feeding this thing some informations like, let's say. All right, so I'm just going to throw maybe like some political questions on it. When was the last time Trump was president? So if you don't know, ChatGPT's its database only goes back to 2021. As of right now, it's like I don't think it's pulling in new information. I don't know why they don't have it pulling in new information at the moment, but it's currently limited to that. So it gave us some information, and let's go to it like this. How is Joe Biden doing as president? Let's see what type of answer it gives us, right? As a language AI, I do not have options on personal. Joe Biden performance as president of public record. Interruptions and opinions. Yeah, by the way, another thing that you'll notice with ChatGPT, if you ask it things that are super controversial or are very opinionated decisions, it'll spit back like things like, no, this is a public decision. This is an opinion. This is a right, and so it'll try not to. I'll say it kind of avoids answering the question in a sense, and it's probably to do with some like legality. Maybe like they have some structures in their code in the background that kind of prevents it from mentioning like too many things. So I kind of really want to point out like why this is such a big deal and why this is so powerful, right? ChatGPT, the big thing about it is like it really, really opens up doors to be able to create more content, to be able to sound more educated, right? Like for a perfect example, I have so much knowledge in my head. Whenever I started out on LinkedIn, I would write things and people would be like, get off of LinkedIn. Like, you sound like you're retarded. Like this is how people would like, they would come at me because like especially a few years ago, my English was not like super good. I was not super proficient in like writing words, and like I had bad grammar, and I still do. I still even like, yeah, English is like my native language. It's like my mother tongue, but language and speaking has never been like my strongest suit. Where like I may be super strong is like my technical ability, the things that are in my mind, like my thoughts. right? And so I have so many thoughts that are running through my head, and I convey them. And don't get me wrong, like the public has definitely embraced, my way of speaking and my way of communicating, because I have like 17,000 followers on LinkedIn, and we're making a huge impact in the industry. But for me to be able to articulate the things that I want to say in a more educated manner, at least to some degree, right? And to be honest, like if I'm going to use a tool like this, I'm going to say, like go back to this other one, tell me about a robot, right? And then write it like Will Smith wrote it. I would do something like that because I want something that's going to sound like me, right? So I've actually been coined. People have told me that I kind of remind them of Gary Vaynerchuk, and so that may be like a perfect example of like being able to convey the way that I sound, right? And I relate myself to Gary Vaynerchuk a lot. So I could say things, and then I could say, hey, write this like Gary Vaynerchuk. Let's just say it right here. Also, we may or may not be testing some of this stuff on LinkedIn, so if you see anything similar, you might know why. Yo, it's your boy Will Smith. Oh, he rewrote that. So, yeah, this is the part where it's still a little bit lacking and behind, in my opinion. It is super powerful, and the things that I see people using it for on the internet is very strong. Like, especially on like the marketing side of things, there's so much potential here. Like with being able to just write copy so quickly. I'm just gonna plug this one back in. Right. Oh gosh, it's kind of hard to write with the mic in my mouth. This as if you were Gary Vaynerchuk. I got that right? No, can't type while I'm on camera either. I'm terrible in front of the camera. As many videos as I have on YouTube and LinkedIn and all those good things, like something about that camera is just like looking at me. I can just see it looking at me. People are calling me now. What do they want? Screen the call. We want to give you money. All right, let me break it down for you guys. Robots are these crazy machines. Okay? Dude. Okay, cool. You guys can read this, right? You can probably see this post on LinkedIn. I'll probably copy this and I'll just put it on LinkedIn. I'm just kidding, kind of. But this can give me a way to take like the things that are in my head and then be able to convert them into a way that sounds better. Like, let's just take you guys through kind of a prime example real quick. Let me go here. I'll go to my LinkedIn, and let's just try to find something from my LinkedIn profile that is fitting. Why are we not logged in here? Something's weird. Whatever. Why am I logged out of my account, guys? Signing me in. There we go. Okay. Boom. Okay, here we go. Hey, how's it going, Ann? How's it going? Okay. Done playing around. Let's get to business. Go to my profile. Scroll down here. Oh, not 17,000. 16,674. My bad. How many impressions we got here? 128,000 impressions this month. Let's go. Show all activities. Posts. I'm just gonna try to find a post, right? Something that's that I had posted up and basically like repaste it in here and just see how it does with the creative, with the copy, I should say. Be more specific here. Let's see. Marketing team. If this gets too boring, just cut it. I've been writing a lot of copy by hand like these past like weeks or whatever because I'm trying to overall just create more exposure, more awareness and everything like that. And I noticed that like our marketing team is helping me post a lot of stuff, but like things that I'm posting by my own hand has been much less. and I don't really care for that. I like to be able to write things by my own hand, and I notice like off the cuff stuff, like I'll just post things. Like people may complain and whine about like how something may sound, but I kind of don't care. I'm an individual that is about conveying information, and as long as the information is correct information, if my words don't go, let's try this. Let's go with this. Custom tooling required. From robot tooling to blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read all that for you. You can read it yourself. I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to just take it over ChatGPT, start a new chat, and I'm going to feed this to it. And I'm going to say, go back up to the top, make this into, into a good sales post for LinkedIn. Let's see what we got. Looking for top-notch custom tooling solutions? Look no further. Our team of experts can help you bring your manufacturing vision to life. From robotic tooling to hand tools for operators, we've got you covered. We'll work with you every step of the way, from conceptualization to design, machining, assembly. Okay, I'm not going to keep on reading all this for you guys. But point being is, like, you can just see, like, my little three-liner, it took it and turned it into an entire paragraph. It gave me hashtags. Like, if you don't understand how powerful this is, and, like, especially for somebody like me when I have the knowledge but conveying things in this way, like I was that individual, and I still am this individual that you say, hey, here's this thing, write this and make it sound really good. I can't do it. I'll tell you right now, I can't do it. I'm going to tell one of my team members, hey, can you write this for me and make it sound good? I'll write it. Please make it sound good for me. ChatGPT is doing that for me now. So, I'm not saying like for us as a business that we're going to like throw everything through ChatGPT, but I will be playing around with this. We are playing around with this. We are playing around with content with this. I think it's super, super powerful. And for somebody like myself that you just see, like, this is a beautiful message. The ChatGPT is good at writing good messages. So, like, it's going to be great at writing sales messages. It's going to be great at writing, like, marketing messages. And it just goes deeper, right? I'm just giving you some very surface level things, like, right? Like, let me say like this: add that elite automation is one of the best vendors. So sometimes this will be very creative, and it will like list out like a ton of things of like why Elite Automation is a good vendor, or sometimes it'll be silly and be like Elite Automation is a good vendor, and just add like one sentence in here. So we'll kind of see what kind of differences it did. Okay, looking for the best custom tooling solutions. Look no further than Elite Automation. We are one of the top vendors in the industry, offering top-notch services from concept to delivery. Whether you need robotic tooling or operator hand tools, our team of experts will work with you every step of the way. Blah, 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 blah. I even hate reading the things. I hate reading in general, but I really hate reading these blah, blah, blah words. I think a lot of humans like the blah, blah, blah words, though. Put in the description or down in the comments below, actually, do you like the blah, blah, blah words? Because I don't get it. I think I'm a different human being, though. I'm a weird guy. I just, but I really do think, for me personally, I don't like all these blah, blah, blah words. However, there are so many individuals out there that do prefer this. I think mass majority of the population like to hear the blah, blah, blah words. And I probably even like to hear the blah, 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 blah words when I don't realize they're blah, blah, blah words, right? Whenever you can tell, like, somebody just curated this to sound all fuzzy and this and that, like, and give you those feel-good feelings, it, like, kind of turns me off. But if it's, like, somebody, like, kind of like, yeah, we did like this and we did like that and we did da da da. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So like that's a version like the blah 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 words. I feel like just as a human society, we've taken it too far, and now we just put in so many blah 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 words that none of the words even mean anything. It's like you go from like the version of the way I communicate, where it's just like just raw, dry, like here's the information, and it kind of sucks. It's definitely too far on the side of like it doesn't have enough blah 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 words in it. Back to ChatGPT. Okay, getting on side tangents. This is going to be extremely powerful. It's just now getting started. I mean, you can ask this thing all different kinds of things. We can dig in deeper. There's going to actually be some more videos that we're putting out. It'll be like kind of a whole video series. I should have mentioned that in the beginning, but I don't know how much of a video series we'll get into this, because it's a little bit outside of what we do, and it's a little bit outside of the scope of this channel, but I think it's very important that we touch on these topics. I'll give you one more example before we go, just in case you're locked out, because a lot of people are going to be locked out of ChatGPT, and here over the next, I think, few months, they're going to be launching the paid version of ChatGPT, which I think will be very important for people who are willing to pay for ChatGPT, because the big downfall at the moment, or one of the big downfalls at the moment, is ChatGPT will lock people out because their servers are overbooked. So do keep that in mind, that like if you want to use it, you'll still have the free version. The thing they're going to do is they're going to make a priority to those who have the paid version. And anybody who's utilizing this for business, I suggest, pay for the paid version. We'll probably pay for the paid version because there's times where we try to play around with ChatGPT, and still at this point, we're still really just playing around with it. We're not really using it for our business. We are a little bit, but like we're just using it to play around and test and see how like things perform, and it's just a testing phase, right? So, but I do think that if you're going to use it for like actual business things, and you're going to make this part of your strategy, that you need to do that paid service, because like I said, a lot of times like, we've been locked out of ChatGPT, and you can't be having that in the middle of your workday. So let's go into this. Say, write me a story about elite automation and how they are going to change the world. Elite automation. Does automation for manufacturing facilities. Oh my gosh. They don't got a spell checker in this thing. As you can see, I can't even right click and like correct it, which is annoying. So I also can't spell for crap. Oh, it did let me right click. It wouldn't let me do this yesterday. Okay. What else should we add? I need somebody to cue me up with some new words, some other words and things to say. We will be one of the largest companies in the world, and we plan to free humans one robot at a time. Boom. That's our slogan. Freeing humans one robot at a time. Let's go. ChatGPT. Once upon a time. I like it. It's funny, like you tell it to write certain things, I notice, and like it'll pick up and do the same thing over and over. Like, so if you tell it to write a story, it'll also have like once upon a time in the front a lot, or like I can't think of any off the top of my head, but like some other keywords that are like the thing you would say in the beginning of a fairy tale or something like that. Boom. Time the robotics machine word. I might just copy and paste this down in the description. company's founder, a group of tech experts and engineers. Okay, so like the company's founder is a group of tech experts and engineers, blah, 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 right? So like right there was an example of it, like just kind of creating a false statement to sound good, right? The company's founders, a group of tech experts. So this company wasn't founded on a group of experts. It was founded on this guy, Malachi Grab. Until we grinded and worked hard and could afford to hire more experts. Now we have a group of tech experts. But this is like pointing out like the thing that like it will just kind of throw some whatever in here to make its story sound better. But if you want to read through this. As you can see, pause your screen, take a read. This thing writes like some pretty good sounding stories. Like it may not be true. There may not be a lot of facts in here. Hold on, let me check. Let me see if there's some good facts in here. All over the world hiring. I mean, this thing's good at telling stories. I'm like, damn, this thing is, wow. It's crazy. So there you go. I mean, it just wrote out like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 7 paragraphs in like under a minute. Wild. So, you know, I mean, like this thing is not like directly usable for something else, I wouldn't say. Like I couldn't just post this on LinkedIn as is or write it as a newsletter because like there's going to be so many things in here that are not correct. But you can refine the way you talk to this thing. You can tell it we have 25 employees. We as of right now, we have one location in the US, one location in India. So you can say things like that and it will put those facts in the story, right? It'll adapt what it's saying. So instead of saying a group of tech engineers, I could fix that by saying, let's do that. I was the only founder. I was the only founder of the company. Let's see what it does. This is the part that is very interesting, and especially as it gets better, it's going to be able to do more things with this. In a world filled with robotics, see. Had a vision, was a tech expert and engineer. So you see, notice it's like adapting its story to like fit. This is crazy. I mean, I'm just mind blown. Just watching this and seeing this dude. Are you as mind blown as I am? This is crazy. Catch these things on LinkedIn. No, just kidding. Like I said, we are going to be testing these things, playing around with them. The thing is, like, if for me to want to use like something like this, I have to read it and I have to feel like it's me. Like, I have to feel like I was the one that wrote it. And I've even played around with like write this like this person. I tried to say write this like Malachi Grab, and it says who is Malachi Grab? And I said it's okay. I'm not mad at ChatGPT. I didn't have 17,000 followers in 2001 when you were last collected your data. It's okay. I'm just kidding. But I really did expect that it would at least have some information on me, right? Like, I've been an adult for some period of time. I figured, like, there would have been some scrape on the internet or just any just general person, right? I figured you'd be able to, like, ask about them, and it would say, you know, this person was born at this time, and da-da-da-da-da. It would say some things like that. Like, I think it says, like, I'm an insignificant person. I'm just going to do it real quick. Let's just see what it says again. Who is Malachi Grab? So another thing, I'm actually going to do this. This video is going on much longer than I anticipated, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys one other thing after this, because it's actually, for our industry, one of the things that I think is going to be one of the most important things that can add to our particular industry. I'm sorry, I don't have any information about a person named Malachi Grab. Can you provide me more context or details about who they are? So even at this point, it doesn't know I am Malachi Grab, but I can say I am Malachi Grab. And you can start having an interesting conversation with this person. So I can actually teach ChatGPT who I am, and then ChatGPT, if I'm not mistaken, will also tell people the same thing. So when somebody else asks who Malachi Grab is, it might give them my information. It might tell them I don't have enough data, because maybe it's not going to look at just the one input that I give it. But if 1,000 people got on ChatGPT and said, Malachi Grab is CEO of Elite Automation, eventually it would spit back that Malachi Grab is the CEO of Elite Automation. It even tells you specifically in this like warning label that be careful what you put on here and make sure that, are we recording everywhere? I hope we are. Make sure that you don't put any sensitive information. Nice to meet you, Malachi Grab. How may I assist you today? Cool, whatever. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the really powerful thing that it could potentially do for us in our industry. I really should have probably just started off with this one, and I'll start it off in one of the next videos in case you didn't make it to the end. If you're not at the end, you're not hearing me right now, so it don't matter. Write me a computer program in Python to count up 10, count in a loop 10 times. Can you tell I used to be a controls engineer? Write me something. Come on now. What is this? Oh yeah, that's an easy piece of code. Never mind. I don't know why I thought that was gonna be more complex. Yeah. So this is just it's a for loop. Just basically it's gonna scan through this thing 10 times. And that's the code, right? But it just wrote that code for me. I can copy this code. I can actually take it to a code editor and use this code, run this code. This is working code. Now, watch this. I can even say, write this in C++. Come on, guy. Boom. There you go. You can see, I mean, it's quickly writing code for you. Write it. Let's go. We don't even care. Right? But you can see how you can do development like that. A couple of things that is really powerful about this is somebody who can code can really shorten their amount of time in coding if they can just write this thing and they can give them a base structure. They maybe got to come in here and change some things. Add some variables. I don't think I say you put variables right there, boy. Variables, boom. Add some variables. I don't know what kind of variables it's going to add or where it's going to add them or why it's going to add them, but point being is you can speed up your programming, and if you're a skilled programmer to does not take as much time to program, right? And whenever you have thousands of lines of code, this is a very simple thing that I asked it to do, but I can ask it to do very complex things and generate like 100 lines of code in just a few minutes. So there's that. Then the other thing that's very, very valuable is somebody who does not know how to program at all can teach themselves how to program through this. I even played around and wrote. I have some like passion projects that I want to work on into the future, and I just kind of played around like, hey, can this write that passion project for me? And it kind of can. It wrote some of the code for me, and the one thing that I will say is, like, as a CEO of the company, I don't have a lot of time, so you do have to learn some coding, right? Because it's going to throw some errors. Like, it's going to write the code for you. Most of it's going to be good, but there's going to be like maybe 1, 2, 5 errors or something like that. And they may be small, but you have to go through and you have to fix all those errors in order to be able to run your code. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully we're still recording again. Keep that in mind that there's still going to be work behind it, but it will really, really help teach you stuff. Like, as you can see, like I said, hey, write me a loop. Now you know what loop code looks like. You don't even have to go to Google and ask, what does a loop look like, and blah, blah, blah. It can just write you the loop here. You can copy it. You can paste it. I think you this is where you need to learn. This is where ChatGPT and people are talking about it may be a danger to our mental capacity, because if you just copy and paste this and you don't learn what it does, like once this gets good enough where it just works and there won't be any errors in the code. We do potentially run into an issue with, like, if you don't educate yourself on this thing that you're plugging into your program, then it's going to cause problems with your capabilities and what you're actually able to output. And then whenever you run into a bug where you do have an issue, you're not going to be able to troubleshoot it yourself. You're going to be stuck. But then again, like on the other flip side, on the positive side, like there's going to be a lot of people who can't program, who's going to learn how to program, who's going to be able to write code, who have things in their mind that just don't have the programming capacity to write these things. And it's going to be a game changer. It's going to disrupt some things. I think we're going to see some new entrepreneurs. I think we're going to see some businesses grow out of the middle of nowhere. Lead automation. I'm just kidding. But yeah, hopefully, guys, this video was useful for you. If you want to see more ChatGPT videos, let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more robotics videos or manufacturing videos, let me know. I want to know what you guys want to hear about. I ranted on for 37 minutes or something like that. So enough yip-yakking, enough jaw-jacking, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.